Live and on demand from the WNY News Now studios in downtown Jamestown. This is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now on this Monday. Happening now, 2 Dunkirk residents are facing charges following an alleged burglary, plus the details on a local SAFE Act conviction that's been overturned. But first, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter is here with a live look at our weather. Hey Dakota, happy Monday to you.
Hey Justin, happy Monday to you, and hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Of course, it was a very warm and muggy weekend, especially Saturday. Here's First Defense Doppler. There is nothing returning on this radar image. This is just what's called a biological target up here in Ontario. That's actually not going to bother us. That's just a biological target showing up on the radar, possibly dust and bugs that shows up on the radar. And I hope you enjoy gaining daylight because we're done with it for the rest of the year until December. So as we go throughout the week, these are the sunset times, so we're going to start losing daylight as we go throughout the month, and we won't gain any more daylight until December into next year. So hope you enjoyed it. We're done gaining daylight for the rest of the year. I had to say it, but the good news is the rain that we had recently has helped bring some of this pollen down a little bit, but the grass pollen's still running high though right now, and the weed pollen is still up there in the moderate category. So those are your 2 main culprits. Just a fantastic Monday. I mean, I can't think of another better way to start the Monday. Lots of sunshine, temperatures in the 70s, low humidity. There will be the chance for some haze because of some smoke that's coming from wildfires. We'll talk about that, plus the 7-day later on in the show. Justin?
Alrighty, thanks for the great day. Looks good out there, Dakota. Thank you. Our top story, a 2014 SAFE Act violation indictment against a Silver Creek man was dismissed in Chautauqua County Court this morning. Judge Stephen W. Cass dismissed charges against Benjamin Wassel, who was convicted on May 30th, 2014 of third-degree criminal possession of a weapon and 2 counts of third-degree criminal sale of a firearm. Now, Wassel was previously arrested for selling a so-called assault rifle to undercover police. In an interview with WNY News Now's Matt Hummel following the court proceedings this morning, Wassel's attorney said the extreme downstate agenda is responsible for bringing this case forward here in Chautauqua County.
What the public has to understand is that the local authorities didn't want to prosecute. They brought in people from New York City, and it was under Eric Schneiderman's regime, and he was trying to use Ben to score political points so he could run for higher office. And while there may not be perfect justice in this world, there is a thing called karma, because he was subsequently forced out of office when the New Yorker credibly alleged that he had physically abused 4 different women. So you may not think there's a connection between his character and this political prosecution.
Now, previously, the New York State Supreme Court Appellate Division ruled that then Attorney General Eric Schneiderman did not have legal authority to prosecute the SAFE Act violation against Wassel. And a 20-year-old Jamestown man was arrested following a violent domestic dispute at a Baker Street residence Sunday. Jamestown police alleged that Justin A. Conklin restrained a victim, not allowing them to leave, and applied pressure to the victim's throat, causing them to have breathing issues. Police said they found the victim, attempted to call 911, but Conklin allegedly took that person's cell phone away. Additionally, police said Conklin had a valid order of protection to refrain from offensive contact against the person. Police said Conklin was taken to Jamestown City Jail without further incident. And a City of Jamestown man was arrested after allegedly shoving another man down a staircase at an East 5th Street house. That happened Sunday. 29-year-old Azrael Aponte Camacho is charged with second-degree harassment and second-degree obstruction of governmental administration. Police said while taking Aponte Camacho into custody, he began to pull away from them. The man then allegedly attempted to fight with cops until he was finally booked into Jamestown City Jail. Police said he was held in jail pending arraignment in the case. And 2 Dunkirk residents are facing burglary charges after an alleged break-in on Sunday. The Chautauqua County Sheriff's Office reports that 25-year-old Darian Hudson Mayer, you see here, and 22-year-old Autumn Burakovich were taken into custody after deputies responded to a suspicious situation in the town of Dunkirk. After obtaining a search warrant for the pair's residence, deputies allegedly found a large quantity of stolen property and 7 hypodermic needles inside their house. While interviewing the duo, deputies said they attempted to conceal their identities with fake names. Additionally, deputies said both had outstanding felony warrants out of the town of Hamburg. Hachamer is charged with third-degree burglary, first-degree criminal possession of stolen property, false personation, and criminal possession of a hypodermic needle. Meanwhile, Bechkovich is charged with fifth-degree criminal possession of stolen property and false personation. Heidenmeyer was taken to the Chautauqua County Jail for centralized arrangement, while Bechkovich is set to answer her charges in court at a later date. Well, hopefully everyone is having a good Monday out there. Thanks so much for joining us. Coming off of this holiday, 4th of July holiday weekend, so hopefully you had some fun and stayed safe out there. Hello to Joanna. Hopefully you're doing well. Good afternoon to David. Laundry day for you by the sounds of it, so hopefully you have some fun there while you're washing your duds in the suds. Hello to Cindy as well for joining us. Pam, thanks for being here. Drop your name in the comments. Say hello. Give us a shout. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to these live videos here on WNY News Now and our 24-hour channel to stay up to date with local news. And we have a lot more to tell you about. Coming up, a hearing in New York State regarding the census and what the Trump administration has to say about it. But first, officials in Cattaraugus County are gathering information following a weekend of storms. Dakota.
Three Stooges aren't census takers, will be okay. The high yesterday was 76. We bottomed out at 59 degrees this morning. Look at the record for this date, 99, set back in 1988. That'll be safe for another year, but some more humidity will return. We'll talk about it. WNY News Now continues in a minute, so don't go away.
Live and on demand, you're watching WNY News Now.
Now open in downtown Jamestown, Pearl City Hops, restaurant and tavern.
I have some real old-timey dishes on there that I'm just giving new life to. Like there's a shepherd's pie on there that's gonna have some bison in it, you know, real thick hearty gravy. Then I'm also doing beer flights. We're pairing it with a set of sliders, a set of tacos, and a set of mini rolls. So everything's gonna have its own pair, so you can get a taste of a little bit of everything and all the beers. We don't want to be known as the restaurant in the hotel. We want to be known as Pearl City Hops.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Want weather now? Download the WNY News Now mobile app and stay up to date on severe weather alerts. Plus, anytime hazardous weather strikes, stick with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network that keeps you safe. You're all in a tornado warning, so now is the time to go to a safe place, small room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. What are you waiting for? Download the WNY News Now mobile app today. It's free in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
Happening now, officials in Cattaraugus County are asking for the public's help in documenting damage from this weekend's flash flooding. Cattaraugus County Director of Emergency Services Chris Barker tells WNY News Now currently the past storm is not eligible for FEMA funding, although photos and information is in need to keep track of storm damage. Now, Barker wants the public to take pictures before, during, and after cleanup, document all items that were damaged, save written quotes, estimates, or receipts for those repairs, and contact your insurance company or the property owner. Now, photos and information should be sent to emergency.services@cattco.org or via fax or by calling their office directly. We have links to those on WNYNewsNow.com right now. And Netflix is cutting back on lighting up all of its new shows with the TV-14 rating or lower and films lower than PG-13 ratings will not feature cigarettes or e-cigarettes. That's according to a company spokesperson. Now, this comes after a report blasted Netflix show's Stranger Things, which has featured tobacco in pretty much every episode. The policy will not affect existing shows on the network, including Stranger Things. Now, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, smoking on screens often causes young viewers to try smoking themselves. And a U.S. District Court judge in New York has set a hearing for July 23rd to hear arguments stopping the Trump administration from amending the 2020 census. The judge will hear from the ACLU, NYCLU, and the New York State Attorney General's office. The ACLU releasing a statement saying the Trump administration has, quote, now changed their tune because the Supreme Court ruled against them. They can't have it both ways, end quote. This is now separate than the case in Maryland, which lawyers for the Department of Justice told a federal judge there Friday that the Trump administration will continue to explore options of adding a citizenship question to the 2020 census. There was but no mention of potential executive order by the White House. And getting an early start to the day may have a hidden benefit for some women. Meredith Wood has more on a recent study that links breast cancer and sleep.
Researchers found sleep patterns may have an impact on your risk of getting breast cancer, and that women who are naturally early risers may be less likely to get the disease. According to a study published in the BMJ, a British medical journal, out of 100 women who identify as morning people, only 1 got breast cancer, while 2 out of every 100 night owls did. Researchers also say women who get more or less than the recommended 7 to 8 hours of sleep are at a slightly increased risk. These may seem like small differences, but researchers say they are important steps in identifying the role sleep plays in overall health. Experts also say your natural preference of morning or night is genetic, meaning that simply modifying your sleep schedule won't change your odds of getting breast cancer. If you're looking to reduce your risk, it's better to cut down on alcohol and maintain a healthy weight, which are 2 well-established risk factors. For today's Health Minute, I'm Meredith Wood.
All right, Meredith's experts tell us there is still a lot to learn about a person's sleeping habit and how it does impact their health. Certainly, thank you for that report. Very interesting to see. It seems like there's always kind of that homeopathical regimen that everyone talks about for anything, whether it's cancer or whether it be the common cold or something like that. So very interesting, though, based off their study. Would be interesting to see maybe some more numbers than just a couple hundred people. But at the same time, I've always been, I don't know about you guys out there, but I've always been a night owl. But just recently, as I've gotten older, I've found that even no matter how late I stay up, I wake up at like 7 or 8 o'clock. So I don't know what's going on with my internal clock. Let us know in the comments below what you think. Cindy, thanks for being here. She says, horrible news out of Littleville. Yeah, it looked like there was quite a flood that was moving through that village over the weekend. It seems like every day, at least for a couple of hours, luckily it wasn't a wash, but every day we had crazy heavy rain. Not just, obviously there, and that's where officials are asking for those photos from people, but from pretty much all over the area. I know Jamestown had some pretty heavy rain Saturday, so we will see if that is set to continue coming up in just a bit. And in fact, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter, he is standing by with answers as to whether more rain is on the way this week. And later on, a special event took place in Falconer over the weekend in memory of a former high school student killed in a crash last week. Details when WNY News Now returns.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvanna Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Not tomorrow, but right now on the WNY News Now mobile app. Follow local news as it happens.
Top story: a Forestville man's weather video has gone viral.
And stay informed with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network.
Our Matt Hummel is standing by live outside of Chautauqua County Court with more on this case. Matt, good afternoon to you.
Download the WNY News Now app right now. It's free on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
First Defense Weather, the Southern Tier's only live and local weather source. Now, here's Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter.
Air mass thunderstorms. Some of you will get an absolute downpour. Some of you will get absolutely nothing. It's the way those things work. Wanted to start off with the Sky Vision camera network because this is the camera coming from the Mill Creek Mall in Erie. Notice how the sky has a milky white appearance to it. There's actually no clouds. It's actually full sunshine across much of the area, but the sky has a milky white appearance. Here's the reason why. I actually mentioned it earlier. Because we have high pressure that's building in from the northwest and a northwest wind aloft that's actually carrying smoke that's in wildfires in Canada down here. So it's this very thin layer of this white you see on the satellite imagery. That's the smoke coming from the wildfires. So there's going to be a milky white appearance. And oftentimes when we get smoke like this, it often means we're going to have fantastic sunsets and sunrises. So get out and look at it. In terms of the rainfall accumulation that we've had over the past 7 days, really Friday was the biggest day where we've had over half an inch of rain that fell on Friday. And I mean, you know, the rain has been very moderate. Now, this is at the Jamestown Airport, need to remind you. And again, last week we dealt with those pop-up showers and storms, so it was the luck of the draw. If you got a shower or a storm, some of it could be very strong with some heavy rain. But the good news is we're done with that for at least a little while. Again, News Now cam, not a cloud in the sky, but does have a milky white appearance with the smoke from the wildfire. 71 at the Jamestown Airport right now with a northeast wind of 9. That's the reason why, because we have a northwest wind component. Got a wind gust of 16 and the dew point is low. 54 degrees, so it's much more comfortable. So through the afternoon today, milky blue sky. I'm giving the day 5 stars. We're making Monday great again. I know a lot of you don't like Monday, but today's going to be fantastic. 79 with a northeast wind. Now, as we take a look at pretty much the northeast here, there's that high pressure ridge that's built in from the northwest, which means it's nice weather. It's fantastic weather, gorgeous weather. And down in the south, want to mention this. This could be a tropical storm by next week. The National Hurricane Center is monitoring this area of low pressure down in the Gulf. It has an 80% chance of actually becoming a tropical depression or a tropical storm by the weekend. Still way too early to know the exact path of this, but we should get better information over the next couple days, so we'll keep you updated on that in case you have any plans to the Gulf Coast this weekend. Clear and starlit tonight. Patchy River Valley fog sets up. We're down to 52 with a light north wind. Tomorrow, get out and enjoy the sunrise, 56. The fog will actually burn off by about 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, and no wind to speak of. Gorgeous. Next 7 days of your life are coming up right now. 82 tomorrow, 84 Wednesday. Fantastic. I don't know any other way to start off a good week. And Thursday, that's a transition day. 82 degrees, widespread showers and storms ahead of a cold front. So Friday, cooler, 78. Few leftover showers in the morning. Otherwise, the weekend, fab-tabulous at this point. Sports is next. Don't go away.
Invest in your business or cause by letting the marketing gurus at WNY News Now and WNY Media Company grow your business.
Purchase an ad much like the one you are watching now on WNY News Now's daily show, News Now at Noon, WNYNewsNow.com, or our brand new mobile app.
And then get feedback from our marketing experts and fans alike.
And finally, watch your business grow.
As an added bonus, Community Partners messages will run not only on our scheduled programming, but on weather alerts and breaking news as well.
Plus, messages are shared on WNY Sports Now programming. Anything from a live local basketball game to the Phone Zone Sports Desk.
Become part of our family today.
And contact us right now.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first. WNY Sports Now is powered by Phone Zone of Jamestown. With the largest inventory around, we buy and sell our own merchandise at a price that can't be beat. Have a broken screen? We'll fix it. Learn more at phonezoneshop.com.
Happy Manic Monday, sports fans, and welcome back to WNY News Now. I'm Norm Rodriguez with a look at sports. It took a sudden death playoff, but Ryan Brem won the 2019 PGA LECOM Health Challenge at the Peak and Peak Resort in Clymer, New York. Brem edged out Tim Wilkinson by 1 stroke in the sudden death playoff. With the win, Brem will be taking home $108,000 in prize money. Brem said the last time he won this tournament, he had to just tap it in, but Sunday's win was much more dramatic.
I think the anticipation and the way that the day was going and kind of the atmosphere around the green, I don't know, it was more dramatic. And I hit a pretty good putt, but all day I've just been leaving my putts just like a fraction short, so I thought it was going to run out of speed and then dive out of the hole.
Wilkinson, the runner-up, took home $64,800. The Jamestown Rebels hockey team unveiled their 2019-2020 regular season home schedule on Friday during the post-Independence Day weekend. Jamestown's first set of home games of this coming year will be on October 4th and 5th against the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Knights. The Rebels will have a total of 28 home games played this season. All of the games will have a 7:05 p.m. puck drop unless announced otherwise, and like last year, their home games will be played at the Northwest Arena. Tonight at 8 o'clock, the MLB Home Run Derby will be taking place as the All-Star break has officially begun. With the expected possible winner Christian Yelich of the Brewers out with a back injury, Matt Chapman of the Oakland A's will take his place. Pete Alonso will be representing the New York Mets for this year's Home Run Derby. The 2019 Home Run Derby will be taking place at Progressive Field, the home of the Cleveland Indians, and it will be televised on ESPN. That's it for sports today. Justin, back to you.
I know he would do this for any one of us if this were to happen, and we're so thankful that everybody came. And he was truly the kindest person that I know a lot of us have ever met, and I just appreciate it a lot. I know I wasn't close with him, but he was my classmate, and senior year I feel like we all connected in some weird way that it made us all as if we were brother and sisters, and this is just awesome. So really thankful for it and the community that we have, and we're able to all do this together.
On behalf of Elizabeth and I, we would just like to say thank you to everybody who has donated in memory of Billy. We got some beautiful flowers today, and we're also in the works with a memorial in works with his parents. We're just really, really thankful for the large amount of support that everyone's given, and to continue to giving it to us, because I know this healing process is not going to be easy. Just thoughts and prayers are with you guys and with all of your family and with everybody here.
The sky over Falconer Park was filled with balloons Sunday evening in memory of a Falconer native killed in a car crash last week. Last Tuesday, 20-year-old Matthew Escalay was killed following a morning crash along I-70 in Clark County, Ohio. Ohio State Patrol tells us that 37-year-old Ohio man was speeding down the highway in a BMW when he struck Escalay's Ford Focus. The Ford then spun and struck a light pole before flipping upside down. 2 others in Escalee's car were injured. Charges are now pending against the driver of the BMW. Officials there tell us alcohol was most likely a factor in the crash. So, yeah, Dakota, anytime there's a tragedy like this, I think anywhere in our communities across the southern tier in Western New York, it seems like everyone always comes together, especially something great like the balloon launch. And if they can get a memorial or something like that going for him, I think that certainly would allow that legacy to live on.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think, kind of thinking back, I don't think I've lost anybody that I that I knew in that sort of manner.
Right.
I have lost a couple of people due to addiction problems, but I haven't lost anybody sort of like in a crash sort of like that in that manner.
And the thing with like this instance specifically, I can attest to, Billy graduated from Faulkner High School, as did Matt and I, as we talk about on this program. I knew him. We were both in the Honor Society together. We worked on various projects, but we weren't necessarily close, right? And I think, he was, hearing the news really was shocking last Tuesday, because we sometimes become a little numb to this in the newsroom, but every now and then it's someone and it really takes your breath away. It stops you in your tracks. And, for conflict of interest purposes, someone other than Matt and I wrote the story and, produced that. But it's like, when you look at, his life and such a good man he was, such a good young man, a student, a community member, a giver, and it's just like, why now? Why is he taken so soon? And I sometimes we don't know the answers to these questions, and it's okay not to. So thoughts and prayers are with his family and his friends and the community, and I think that they really will support each other. As we go forward, as they always seem to do, in these horrible tragedies.
And I gotta say again, it's Faulkner again. I mean, Faulkner has had, a lot of hardships over the past 3 years. I mean, it's just. Man, will Faulkner ever catch a break here? I mean, it's just, man.
And not that we would want any other.
Right,
of course. But
you know what I mean.
I do. Right. Yeah, it's like, but I think, if there is going to be a community that has to go through something like this, they really come together and they love. And that's, I think that's what you see out of it. So I'm a little biased, obviously, but just so everyone knows. But no. So, another, I was kind of biased over the weekend a little bit with all of this rain. I was looking up and I'm like, I love Dakota so much, but you hopefully didn't make any rain on anyone's parade.
Well,
hopefully not. But
you
can't control those pop-up thunderstorms.
Well, I mean, we talked about it before. They pop up at random times. We cannot tell you when or where it's going to rain. The best thing we can tell you is scattered afternoon and evening showers and storms. That's the best we can tell you.
Real quick, kind of funny story. I was driving home from the Olean area, on Saturday, and I'm on 86, kind of going sort of by Allegheny, almost into like Steenburg area. And I'm looking up at the sky, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, it was a great morning, and now it's about to get wet. And that's exactly what happened.
Early morning sunshine.
Leads to this hot humidity.
That'll do it.
And then
the humidity, the sunshine, fuel storms. Speaking of fueling, let's take one more look at the satellite imagery, because I want to mention this again. This is really cool. We're going to have full sunshine across the day today, but the sky has a milky white appearance. That very thin layer of clouds you see coming across Western New York is not clouds. It's actually smoke from wildfires in Canada with a northwest wind aloft. We can often get that way. Here comes the 7-day. You can see comfortable humidity over the next couple of days. Humidity will rise Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday night, cold front plows on through. That's why we are colder on Friday, or should I say on Thursday. We're cooler on Friday, and this weekend looking fabulous, lower 80s with lots of sunshine.
All right, Dakota, thank you. Yeah, not a bad week. At least I'm glad the humidity is gone.
At least for now.
For now.
We'll bring it back a little bit, but at least we're going to stay out of this very oppressive level, at least for a little bit. But it is July. We still have July, August, and early September to go through.
I know earlier, I don't know if she's still watching, but Lori said she was waiting for her grandbabies to come over and get a dip in the pool. Can we come?
Ooh, that sounds good.
But no, yeah, so...
I'll bring the inflatable tubes.
Yeah, Dakota. I can see it now.
Justin can bring the beer.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
We're gonna
Or
card
Arnold
everybody.
Palmer or something.
Yeah, we'll card everybody. No worries. So. Thank you, Dakota. That's going to do it for us today. Of course, news continues 24/7 on the massive network of WNY News Now. You can download our mobile app to stay connected. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, wherever you get your information from. And of course, and here's a live look of Mayville out there. And like you said, the clouds are a little soupy out there. Not too bad, but pretty nice anyways if you can get out and enjoy it. We are back tomorrow. Have a great day.